get in a fight.
All right.
Why are you wasting?
Yeah.
All right.
Chips? No,
It's dangerous.
Let me go in.
You know, you can hit me in the eye. Oh, nobody tried again? Yeah. If you can hit me in the eye, good. That's impressive. Like,
All right. Find your openings. After the opening, we're going to do our common formative assessment we're required to do.
What? You didn't say we had a test today. She did say we had a test. Why did you even come?
Give any plan on dropping out? I don't know the answer to that
I
either.
know,
It's sort of like a course
plan
period
on dropping out.
when
My
Luis
mom's
shows up,
taking
or
me
if
out.
Joe
Like,
or
it's the
Luis
day
shows
before
up.
spring break. You don't do
That's the
anything
reason I like
regardless.
coming.
My mom's taking me out of
I think Joseph.
it. Just seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, I saw Joseph in. He has me. He was in school. Yesterday. He was just like in the hallway. I think it was after the period. I saw him. I saw him like at lunch. He wasn't at lunch. He was just in the hallway talking.
What's the point?
I think it's over there.
Is this opening number 1?
Yes, this is number 1.
I was like,
Can I give you my one from yesterday?
Yes, you can.
Can I take the test from yesterday?
Now, right now.
Like later?
Yeah.
Later today?
No.
Or spring break? This opening? Can you stop these on?
Oh man. And the last school lunch or however it is the worst lunch of the year.
What is it?
It's that turkey, that 5-pound turkey. It's disgusting crazy.
Do they have a salad today?
No, they pay by themselves.
Oh man.
All right, number 1. What 2 parts are in the atom?
A cloud and
The electron cloud and the nucleus. Fabulous. What particles found in each? What's in the nucleus?
neutrons and protons.
Everybody got it?
No.
Actually, you should have been on this.
All right, Grace, do it again.
No, don't say anything, Grace.
E cloud has electrons, nucleus has protons. This is from way back.
It is from way back. We've done this
Come on,
one.
take it.
There's one on the back. Okay. That's some good artwork. All right. Do we have it done? All right, so number 2.
Yes.
What mass did we assign to a proton?
0.
Nope.
1.
1. What mass did we assign to a neutron?
0.
No.
0. Wait.
We assigned a 1. What mass did we assign to an electron? Proton was 1, neutron was 1. What's the electron?
-0.
That one's 0.
-1.
0.
Electron?
This here, no,
Look at
this
it right here,
Tyler's
yes.
not.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Stop you.
Traces, Stella's not. Melly, Derek, Malik, Markel is not. Galvion is seen. Chanel is herb. These people don't need time. We have to be here for life, not stay.
What was the mass for electron?
0. All right, so number 3, what does it mean to be negligible?
So small, it doesn't matter.
So small it doesn't matter. So small it does not matter.
Caleb. So small.
Trevor, just for a little bit, I want you to pretend that you're not in middle school.
I don't think I can do that. Pretend I'm in elementary school or like kindergarten.
Either would be fine. All right, and the last one. What does atomic number tell us? And nada is not an answer.
The number of protons. The number of protons.
The number of what?
Protons.
Number of protons is correct. Number of protons is correct. Does everybody have the answers to the opening?
No, not yet. Hold on. What's the difference between 1 and +1?
Nothing. We just usually put plus because it's a proton. But if we're talking about charge, but we're not talking about charge, so that's why we don't put a +1. We're just talking about the mass. So we don't write plus. We just write 1.
The mass of a proton 1 or negative?
Just 1. It's not negative.
Okay. So none of the masses are negative. Right, people?
Mass can't be negative.
I mean, what if it was? Right, what if it was? Wouldn't that make a black hole or something? What the heck?
All right, this is pretty short. It's not going to take the entire time by any stretch. Probably takes about 15 minutes because it is only 14 questions. Okay?
I'm gonna take the whole class.
It's not, you're not getting the whole class period, so don't even think about it. You need your orange card. If you would like it. If you don't want it, you ain't got to have it.
Doesn't like count.
Is this a grade?
Bonus points on your test. Anything that's a 70 or higher, get your bonus points. If you make a 90 or higher, you get 15. If you make an 80 or higher, you get 10. If you make a 70 or higher, you get 5. So if you get 10 or 11, it's in the 70s range. 12 is 86. 13 or 100 is going to get you a 15. Because there's only 14 questions. So, Derek, go on, dude. Just wait. It's only 14 questions. You can manage 14 questions.
What?
What is it for?
The number of protons.
Trying to jigger up all out there.
You do have a pencil.
Right. Do I have to leave?
No, you're going to.
Well, I
Oh, I thought you were having to. Can we use our notes?
No.
This is CFA. I don't understand.
Where'd you say that was at?
You good, me?
Move over there. Move
It's something, more like a center what?
What about this?
over there, the lab count.
I was just looking.
Come over here.
Mr. Wall?
Move back one.
What is it?
All right, when you're done, bring them up here, put them on my desk. Once everybody's done, we'll move on. Will not take the entire period. It's only 14 questions.
Oh.
What's wrong? You need a calculator?
Yeah.
Grab one.
Who else needs one? I might as well get one for all of y'all.
Help me.
1, 2. That's all I can count the break.
Alright, who needs one?
I can't
Don't drop them, make 2 trips.
Thank you. I make one trip. Only. You need one?
It's so aggressively
Yes.
nice.
Do you need one? Derek needs one too. Do you need one? Oh my god. Hard charge. Did you get one? Can I just one of those?
stacks. Just the CFA. It's worth bonus points on yesterday's test. Anything 70 or higher, get your bonus points. 90s, anything above a 90 is 15, above an 80 is 10, and above a 70 is 5. Here you go.
Taking the chest in here.
Thank you, Grace.
Miss Wall,
Yes, ma'am.
can you pick up, please?
Yes?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me? We took a test yesterday. We're taking notes today and a CFA. She has the review sheet. We did a lab the day before. I don't know if there's a lot I can send. I don't know if we'll actually get to it today. I told her that her best course of action is to watch the video and take notes on it. Because yesterday we did a test all day and we did a lab most of the day on Wednesday. So I'm not sure I have anything to really send home for her. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye. Go Elizabeth. 13 out of 14. Eduardo's got 12 out of 14. Grace got 10. Jose got 10. All you guys will get bonus points on your test from yesterday. Got 10. Yep. Yeah. You're popping popcorn?
That's why I wanted to use your microwave.
Well, some people just eat a sandwich or something.
Well, no, I'm not weird.
I'll allow it because we're getting out of break. Beyond that, don't ask that for a normal class.
Can I get some water?
Mm-hmm. Great test. Dude, I hope you are dropping out or going somewhere else because you are royally mucking up your grade.
I'm gonna get the dust.
Yeah, these days you don't put any effort into anything, you're flunking everything.
Yep.
Even if you wind up staying, you're gonna wind up failing.
Oh yeah, I know it's 2 years of homeschooling or.
Yeah, but my point is, Why wouldn't it be a better plan to stay and pass, at least through the end of the year?
Because they told me I would fail either way, and there was no way I could pass this year unless I did summer school, did every Saturday school, and stay after because of my credits. Yeah, no, if they were just like, you're gonna have to try over harder next year, I would have been fine with that. But they were like, there's no way you can pass this year. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, you're working.
Yeah.
No, I'm good, thanks. Thank you, my dear. All right, if you will, find your notes. Your phone's away, find your notes. Yes, I know, as Trevor pointed out, I'm the only mean person in the building who's going to teach today. But I cannot believe that. Sure, there's 2 or 3 others out there who are like me.
We had to do IXL last period. You know how stupid IXL is? Very stupid.
Well, in here we're going to learn. I'm going to teach.
When you get to like 95 in this 4-year-old, and then you have to put all of that.
I'm sorry.
It's painful.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now, you do not need your orange cards. You can put those away. If you borrowed one from me, you can put it up. All right. We're going to We're going to talk about how to find protons, neutrons, and electrons today. All right. For some of you, this will probably be review. For Mario, I know it is. All right. For those of you who had a decent experience in 8th grade, it is. For those of you who had a terrible 8th grade experience, like Najee keeps telling me hers was, it'll be brand new. Okay?
That's what teachers suck.
Huh?
She didn't teach us anything. She just,
Okay, then yours would fall in the terrible category and it'll be new for you.
She just cried all the time.
She just cried all the time.
No, I'm not even joking. She did.
I believe you. I'm just laughing because you told me she cried all the time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. I didn't make any more periodic tables. I might need to do that at lunch today before fourth period comes in. I just assumed I had made enough. Trevor, do you want a periodic table or should I save my table? Are you gonna sleep on it and use
You
it?
always say like we're making fun of her, but
All right.
like,
Don't
some
waste
of them
my
were
periodic
jokes, though,
table.
but like we didn't really make her cry. We weren't trying to. I mean, no one listens to her.
You need to make more of these. Is that a good copy? Yeah, that looks like a good copy. Where's my orange cardstock? Feels like cardstock right there. Cardstock. That'll remind me to do that at lunch. I will forget. I don't think I have enough for fourth period. All right, so we got this far on what day? What's today? Friday? Wednesday. All right, so what do we say that this was?
The atomic number.
The atomic number. How do we know that this is the atomic number today? That's right. It's the smallest. It never changes. Okay? This will be the what? It'll be the atomic mass. That's right. Now, that never changes. It does not matter which periodic table you have or which one you look at because it's the biggest. All right? Now, I pointed this out to you on Wednesday because if you look at the periodic table over here, the atomic number is on the bottom, and the periodic table over there, the atomic number is on the top. All right? Now, the periodic table I just handed to y'all is an identical copy of what you're going to get on exam day. The only difference is it'll be twice as big. With me, really? Do not go to sleep. You can go to sleep at 3:30 this afternoon. Now, why are you on the phone? Get off the phone. Now, when you look at your orange card, all right, the orange card you used on the CFA today, the front is going to be the front of the reference table that you get on exam day. All right, the back will be the back side, and when you open it up, Zach, no, I already told you no. All right, when you open it up, will be a giant periodic table that I just handed. So we have to learn how to find protons, neutrons, and electrons today. So on Wednesday, I'm just going to write this down again, but you already wrote it down. How did we say we'd find protons? because I'm going to keep jumping back to this when y'all tell me you forgot. How did we say we were going to find the protons? It's the atomic number. Okay? How did we say we were going to find electrons?
Atomic mass minus atomic.
Same as the proton.
Same as the protons. The electrons are the same as the protons. Now, Grace, how are we going to find the neutrons?
The atomic mass minus atomic.
There you go. All right, the neutrons are the atomic mass minus the atomic number. All right, so this is what we got to on Wednesday. If you were here, you have all this written down. So now, this is what we're going to do today. In 8th grade, you did not do this, okay? So there are two notations y'all have to learn how to read. The first one is called nuclear symbol notation. It's the one, generally speaking, students like better than teachers because it's harder for teachers to type in the computer and make it look nice. But the reason students like it better is it has both numbers in it. Okay? Now, it's called nuclear symbol notation because what does it have right here? It has the symbol, okay? So P stands for the element that we're talking about. And it gives you both numbers. It gives a 31 and a 15. And one of them has to be the mass, and one of them has to be the number. And it works like what we just talked about, bigger and smaller. That's not different. Derek, put the phone down. Please. Thank you. All right, so how are we going to find protons, neutrons, and electrons? Well, let's identify the atomic mass and the atomic number based on what we just did. All right, so when we look at this, what do we know that this 15 is based on what you guys just told me? The 15 is the what? It's the atomic number, and I'm just going to write AT for atomic. That's the atomic number. All right, so the 31 has to be the what? Has to be the atomic mass. Is everybody okay with those two things? 15 is the smaller number, so it's the number. 31 is the bigger number, so it's the mass. Everybody okay with those two concepts? Yes? Now, when you come back after break, if you're not okay with that, you're going to have to learn that and memorize it. There's no way around that, okay? If you're one of those people and you know your own learning style and what you're able to do, you have to commit that to memory. Atomic number is the smaller number. Atomic mass is the bigger number. Grace has got it, okay? She probably had it Wednesday. If you're sitting here and after me talking about it for 5 minutes, you don't have it, you're going to have to study on Monday when you come back, okay? Now, in order to find protons, what did we just say when we wrote that down on Wednesday? Protons are the what? What do we write down in our notes? How do we find the protons? It's the what? It's the atomic number. So protons equal the atomic number. So what is the atomic number? 15. So how many protons do we have? We have 15. Okay? Is everybody okay with that? All right, so what did we just write down? Told us electrons. Electrons are what?
The same number as protons.
All right, it's the same as the protons. P with a plus is the symbol I use for protons because I'm lazy. Okay, it's the same as the protons. So how many protons did we just say we had? 15. So how many electrons are there? 15. Everybody okay with that? Protons and electrons have to be the same number. Now, how do we find neutrons? What did Grace say just a second ago? Okay, mass subtract what? Subtract the number. So what's my mass? 31. Subtract, what's my number? 15. So 31 subtract 15 is 16. Everybody feel okay about that? That's it. That's all there is to it. You remember doing that? Some people do.
I do.
Some people don't, but a lot of you probably do now that we've walked through one. Okay? Everybody got what they need off the board? All right. Hyphen notation is the one I like because it's easier for me to type. I know most students don't. Now, you can either write it out, or I should say teachers can write it out, as either the full name, carbon hyphen 12, or sometimes, I don't usually do it this way, but I have seen it on papers, they write the element symbol hyphen 12. Okay? It doesn't have to be the full name. They can just write the element, the symbol hyphen 12. It's called hyphen notation because it has a hyphen in the name. Now, the reason students do not like this one is how many numbers does it come with? Only one. So you have to find the missing number. So, which number did I give you? Did I give you mass or did I give you number?
How are we supposed to know?
That's the question.
So why you ask?
Because I'm hoping you know. I can only change one number. One I can never change. So which one can I change?
The math.
I can change the mass. So which one do I have to give you?
The number.
This is the mass. This is the mass. All right. The reason it's the mass is atomic number never changes. So we will look it up on the periodic table. Okay? It never changes. So if I can never change the atomic number, we can always look atomic number up on the periodic table. Mass can change. It's called an isotope. Anybody remember talking about isotopes before in another science class? Okay. We're going to talk about those possibly today. All right? But because masses can change, I have to give you the mass. But I don't have to give you atomic number because I can't change the atomic number. Now, when you look at the box, if I go back, which one is atomic number? The little number or the big number? Which one of those is atomic number? The biggest number or the smallest number? It's always the smallest number. Okay? This is why I said for some of you, you might have to study because you're going to forget. So when you go to the periodic table, find carbon. I tell you it's on the right-hand side of the chart. Yeah, you have to go left from right when I tell you left from right. All right? So, Charlie said it's number 6. So when you find carbon, what is the atomic number in the box? What do we say about the number? Is it the small number or the biggest number? It's the smallest number, so it's 6. Okay? So, when you look up carbon, the atomic number is 6. So, if the atomic number is 6, all right, how do we find protons? What did we say just a second ago? How do we find protons? It's the atomic number. So, what is my atomic number? All right, how do I find electrons? It's the same as the what? It's the same as the protons, so there are 6. How do I find neutrons? Mass minus number. So there is 12 minus 6, which is 6. Now, the 12.01, that's just an average on the periodic table. It's a lot like, if you guys look at your periodic table, and you look at the mass of carbon on the periodic table, it has a decimal number, right? It's like when we average grades. You know, when you look at your average on the computer, is it a whole number or is it a decimal?
It's a decimal.
It's a decimal. And then when we put it on the report card, it's a what?
It's a
A whole number. We have to round it off. Okay? So when I put it here, I have to round it off. But on the periodic table, it can be a decimal because it's an average. All right?
Right.
It comes from being an isotope. We're going to get there.
I go to the bathroom as well.
Huh?
I go to the bathroom.
You have any hall passes left?
All of them.
Then yeah, you can. All right.
Hold on, let me check.
I want you to find the protons, the electrons, and the neutrons in all three of these. And I'm going to have some of y'all come up here and put your answers on the board in a minute. Okay, so find me some answers. Get off my desk.
I didn't even get it.
All right, find me some answers. Nickel is not nitrogen, so make sure you pick the right elements. Because some of them are similar. Go sit down before I go get Lolly.
What's she gonna do?
Nothing, probably. But she'll harass you, which would be fun for me to watch. All right, find me some answers. Yeah, I want you to write it down. Are you going to remember if I call on you to do an answer?
I'm just kidding.
She was a mercy hanging out for
I was joking, but
I had a feeling you probably were.
It's actually not a bad name.
Anybody have a question?
Yes.
Yes, what's the question? Tellurium's around
I
50.
found
Oh, it's 52.
That's why I told you I didn't want
Yeah.
to. Me too, but I won't be at home where I have,
What if you find them? Just like eat it slowly. I just ate the whole bag. I don't care. Right?
Yeah. No. So when you're finding neutrons, you're subtracting. Okay, so remember, protons are the atomic number. So what's the atomic number for nickel?
wait, that E means neutron.
That's right. You know the electrons have to be the same. Yes. Okay. So to find neutrons, you take the mass that I gave you, which is what? What's the mass I gave you? 59 minus your 28. 59 minus 28. Yeah.
The E means the electrons and neutrons.
E stands for electrons. E with the negative side is electrons. N is neutrons, roll 0 means it's neutral. Let me go grab my periodic tables.
I remember doing this, man.
So I was like, I can look at me like I'm stupid. Bro, I think I can get this problem. That's why they do like you know, that's why the pro was there. Something. Same thing. This part just stuck in there.
All right, where we at?
Done.
Close. All right.
I'm not gonna do the middle one.
You're not gonna do the middle one because why?
Because I already did the first one.
So that's the one she's gonna call you on now.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
If I'm right here for an example, why don't he both of them?
You're not gonna for an example. She said.
Remember, you got to remember this for better than a week. Because I'm sure you remember how to do it on not next Monday, the following Monday.
That's one of the
Can I do the first one?
Not far away.
Wait.
Yes, you can. Dang. Get up here.
All right, you're all. I gotta grab my table, split it up there.
I'll do the second one.
So dramatic.
Hi. Where's the table? Where's the table? I'm trying to show my live people.
Your live people.
My live people.
You got nobody on here.
Not yet.
You got a Krispy Kreme donut?
Nope, Mr. Wardlow brings him this, class first period when he's in here. I don't feed anybody donuts, but he's nice that way. Some days he brings biscuits.
Are you nice?
No,
Wait, these are just.
they're not bad.
It's a vegetable.
Try one.
Are they
It does not taste like a vegetable.
I swear, no, nothing to ever.
Shoot, I'll try it.
Right, what is it? I'm hungry.
It's like got the peas in it. What's that called again?
See? Grace thinks so. They're not bad.
Shut up.
Legal try it.
I haven't. They're not
Why is your board being?
Huh?
Why is your board being? Look. What is your board?
What's with it?
Why are you changing color?
Who writes their eights like that?
I do.
What is the
You got an idiot up on the board right now. That's how life is.
Stop
So,
talking to
we
y'all.
gonna.
What?
What the fuck did you do?
Right, that's right.
Track that.
I just checked the wrong thing.
All right, so what do you do to find neutrons now?
Give me the break.
Give me the break.
Give me the break.
I said, give me the break.
No, you said.
Give me the break.
Like, it's not bad. It's like a Cheeto with like no cheese.
Ow, don't touch my
Are you
arm.
pushing hard on it?
She's gotta be to change the colors. You don't write real hard.
Because it turned into something else.
It's the only
It's-
way it changes.
Damn.
All right, next.
Okay, my turn.
Now everybody saw that for the recording.
Wait, that's wrong.
Okay, that's right.
You scared me.
What are you doing?
You
What
can
is
see
that?
it no more. How do you?
You can't make it bigger like that.
Hold on, what is that?
What?
Just write it. Okay. Just,
What are you
it's-
doing?
Here, I'll fix it. I'll just minimize it so small where nobody can see it.
Are you talking to me?
128 minus.
Oh, what did you do?
What are you doing?
They don't know.
It wasn't me.
Okay, so 128 minus 52, and you get 76. Okay, good.
Oh.
Really, we don't need figures.
There we go.
All right. Anybody want to do CL?
No, I will.
I will.
Go ahead. One of y'all in the back yelled, I will.
Look it over. Hit it again. Hit it again. Oh, cancel it.
Oh, wait, is this recording? Yes. Say hello, Slow. No. Here she is.
Did you just move it so it's not even on the board?
Mario did that.
I told y'all, Diavion will actually watch this at some point before
Why she
third
an
period
ISS?
again. Diavion's not an ISS.
Where's she at?
She's singing. I don't remember where Miss Rector told me they were going. Kiwanis, maybe? Or don't
Can't
know.
say
It's Kiwanis.
Okay, someone fix that. It's not straight.
Wow.
It's off.
What? All right. Now, this time we're going to work backwards. All right? This time we're going backwards. So we're going to take the information that we have on protons, neutrons, and electrons, and we're going to find the notation. Okay? So, this time I want to find atomic number, atomic mass, and both notations. So, I'm going to give y'all protons are 27 and neutrons are 32. And I'll let those people who are going to write this down write, and then we'll talk about it. Malik, what was the verdict on the peas? Was it terrible?
Oh, they were really good.
Thank you. I don't think they're bad either.
Like Cheetos, but like no cheese.
Cheetos and no cheese.
What's it taste like?
It's like, and Cheetos like nothing but.
It's
a
like a
little
veggie
piece.
straw. If you've ever tried a veggie straw.
It's a word.
Oh, I didn't know
No.
that.
I know flavor.
Go ahead and leave.
There's no flavor.
I mean, there isn't no.
Like, you know when you get a Dorito, but none of the,
Like I hate lettuce and tomatoes.
Yeah, like that.
Flavor.
Right.
Water, vegetables.
but that was so good in a bag of Doritos, so you're pissed
Like,
off because
get some of that green
Lettuce
salsa.
has no nutritional value.
Flavor town.
It's like a Romanian.
The only thing I know of that has no nutritional value is like mushrooms and iceberg lettuce.
Why would you even eat a
Any
mushroom?
lettuce except Romanian has no
I
nutritional
don't know, it tastes
value.
good.
And tomatoes.
No, they
just
don't.
water for-
Yeah, they do.
No, I can't really do the straws, but like mushrooms don't taste like anything.
Oh, my.
Are mushrooms meat?
Saying the word mushroom.
Well, I like the grilled sauteed or something. I don't like
What's
what's
the
the
other
fire.
Oh my God.
They're not a plant or animals. They're their own thing. So like,
Aren't they like a fungus or something?
Yeah.
they're their own thing.
you should know your science.
I teach non-life science. Let's be clear.
That's Miss Bowers. You go to Miss Bowers' room.
That's not.
Let's go to Miss Thornhill right now. She's down the hall. She got like salmon.
Leave Ms. Bowers alone. She's teaching over there.
She like what?
And she's stuck with freshmen.
Salmon in her tank.
I'll be a blessing.
You know, you were a freshman once.
I was, and I'm thankful that I'm not anymore.
That was like.
You don't like the
How
freshman.
was
That's
it when
a
you were
running
teaching
joke.
French?
I never taught freshmen.
Oh, you never?
Well, I take that back. I've taught freshmen maybe 3 years out of 28, and it was hell. I don't wish to return.
Ooh, she's a body word.
Freshman is really annoying.
Miss Wall, how old are you?
When I started teaching,
Now.
No,
now I'm 49.
Oh dang, I would have said 14.
no.
You would have said what?
43.
No, I'm 49. I'll be 50 this October.
Grace is going.
She says leave me alone.
I got really upset.
All right, so if we look at those two numbers, what is it that we know from those two numbers?
The protons and neutrons.
I can read people.
Electrons is the same.
Okay, electrons are the same. So how many electrons do we have?
27.
All right, so we know our electrons are 27. Yeah, they're fake.
So what's the point?
All right, so
What's the point?
if we know the electrons and we know the protons, what have we learned is the same as those? The atomic what?
What was the question?
Atomic number. Okay, so we know the atomic number is what? 27. Now, what else does atomic number and those two things tell us? It doesn't bite. Okay, hold on. We'll go to math in a second. What else do those three things tell us that we need to know? The what? It tells us the element.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so what element do we have? All right, look at your periodic tables, people. All right, look at your periodic tables and tell me what element we have. Is everybody okay with it's cobalt? I've had about 3 people say cobalt, and the rest of you are still wandering around looking at Mario and the peas.
Cobalt.
That's like baby.
Yeah, it's cobalt. Cobalt.
That's like
Baby snacks are
Okay.
It doesn't go for
Oh, yeah.
Is everybody okay with the protons get you all that information? Okay? Protons are the same as electrons. Protons tell you the atomic number, and the atomic number tells you the element. All that information comes from the protons. Is everybody okay on that? Now we can go to what Grace and a couple other people were yelling out because they were getting a little huffy that I wouldn't listen to them. Okay? Now they wanted me to listen to them because they were trying to tell me how to get the atomic mass. Now, this is usually where I lose some people. How did we find neutrons a minute ago? We did what to find neutrons just a second ago? We took mass and we did what with mass and atomic number? Now, Jay, hush. We subtracted them, right? Jose's got it going on over there. Now, what two things make up atomic mass? It's protons and neutrons. That's the definition for atomic mass, right? What does and mean in math class? It means add. So you got to take those two things and you got to add them. So the protons are 27 plus the neutrons, which are 32, and you're going to add them together to get your atomic mass. 59. Okay? Now, that may or may not be the same mass that's on the periodic table. Okay? So if you look up cobalt over here, it says 58.9. All right? It's pretty much 59. That's okay. It may not always be the same number. You use what you get when you add, not what's on that table. So, how do we write the notation? So, let's do nuclear symbol first. All right? What does nuclear symbol look like? It has a symbol and both numbers, right? So, what's the symbol for cobalt? Look on your periodic table. I don't expect you to know. It's big C, little o, and it has both numbers. 27 should go at the bottom, and 59 should go at the top. I will tell you if you flip it, I will not mark it wrong. Okay? The mass should go at the top. It should be mass, and it should be number. But if you mess it up, I will not mark it wrong if you have those flipped. Okay? But you got to have both numbers there. Yes?
These are just potato chips. But like, they're fake.
They're peas.
Do you
They're
like
not peas,
them?
they're potato chips.
I don't think they're bad.
They're like from potato.
It's like what you're
Now, to do hyphen notation, you write the word out. You write out the name of the element. So cobalt. And then you have to put in the hyphen. Okay, there has to be a hyphen. And then what goes after the hyphen? What is after the hyphen? What is this? Is that the number or the mass? So you're going to put the mass behind it. So 59. Okay? Put potato down. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Because you're going to have to be able to do this on your own to build a model shortly after we get back.
Wait, build a model?
Everybody has to build their own.
Model.
An atom.
Oh, okay.
I know how to do that.
All right. Let's do it again.
That hurt.
What do we know? Electrons are what? All right. So what can we get from those electrons? So the protons are what? So the protons are 16. All right, Jose's answered. He can't add anything else. What else do we know?
You know,
Neutrons are 18.
no, I'm just
That's on the board. That's not helpful.
kidding.
We know that.
What else do we know if we know protons are 16? Based on what we just did.
But atomic mass is 16.
What is the atomic number, Grace? All right, Grace cannot add anything else. Jose and Grace are out.
I'm in.
All right, what else do we know?
You can add it.
Okay, we can get the atomic mass by adding. All right, Nigea is out. All right, tell me what I'm going to add, Nigea. Then you'll be out.
15 and 16.
All right, 15 and who?
18 and
All right, so we're adding the protons and the neutrons. So 16 and 18.
34.
I just realized giving the neutron last name.
All right, so now Jay is out. I need more information. Otanel?
Can I tag?
I just realized that.
Shh, Trevor, hush. Otanel?
The element
The element
is sulfur.
is sulfur. How'd you figure that out?
You smart.
It's what, Otanel?
16, the atomic number.
The atomic number is 16, so it's sulfur. What do you want to add, Elizabeth? You already steal what you want to add? Okay. So, can you tell me how to write either of the notations? Anybody?
I do. It would be like I forgot. I don't know. What was the name of it?
You're out.
So she.
She doesn't usually answer a lot of stuff you do. So I was cutting her a break.
So the top number is the mass.
The top number is the mass, so 34. What goes on the bottom?
The number,
And what goes here?
the S.
Okay, Ureli's out. I need some of the people who I haven't talked to. So Liliana, Malik, Eduardo. How do I do hyphen notation? Go ahead, Elizabeth. Sulfur. Okay, which is? Nope. What's the mass we have up here on the board? 34. What goes in between sulfur and 34? Yep. Nigel, you do your thing. All right, I don't want to do that just yet. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. All right, let's go back there. Let's say that we have and let's say that we have I need a periodic table I can see.
Shape of a stick.
You don't need a french fry? You don't need french fry. You need fries.
All right, write those in both notations. We should be able to do those two and go over it.
I've met only like one person in my life that doesn't like fries just because they hate potatoes.
I've met two.
Potatoes.
Like, there's like this one person that's like, I really
Hey, potatoes, big guy, right?
potatoes.
This is potato.
Potatoes have so
This
many
is
different
literally
textures.
potato.
I like the most versatile.
Exactly.
thing on the
I
planet.
didn't say I did. I
live.
said I met two people who don't like it.
And then all the potatoes are.
I like potatoes. You think I can be this size and not like potatoes?
I'm this size.
I feel bad for laughing.
Yeah, I'm this size, I eat everything.
No exercise. Finally,
Size.
nuclear symbol. I'm done, and we're going to put them on the board. And I would like 3 different volunteers.
I didn't wait, right?
Huh? Huh?
I didn't wait.
Yes, that doesn't mean you're just gonna sit there.
I'm gonna
You
do
can
it.
throw that zone in the trash can. You don't have to eat it.
You didn't even eat it.
Because you make them sit.
Who knows what you did to it?
I didn't do anything, I just plucked it.
It's been tainted by her.
Give me my periodic table back. You're not gonna do anything with it. You have no book bag, and I don't want to mutilate it and put the coat on.
Listen, I was just looking at it and I answered a question today.
Right.
You asked me what the number was. And I answered what the number was.
Cool. I mean, some notations.
Oh, I think it's on me. Come on.
You know what? I want cake, but I want like cheese. Oh, you reckon?
I want you to be quiet and do some work, but neither of us are getting those things.
You grow up. I want cake.
And I fell asleep. And
Done it, Margaret?
I woke up with like milk on like cake and like a box of Neutrons right next to me.
What happened?
I woke up and I was just so, I thought it was a cake.
You just passed out eating cake.
My friend makes the best homemade cookie dough cheesecake.
See,
She
come back.
gets raw cookie dough. She puts it in the
Go do the heights and notations.
It's all ball.
Yes, very.
Like 17.
I don't usually get you up there, so go right ahead.
What is a cheesecake?
You don't know what a cheesecake is?
It's literally cheese in a cake.
It's not cheese in a cake. I thought that for a long time.
No, it's
Where's your marker?
Look in the drawer.
What drawer?
I don't have it in my pocket, so yeah.
It's like a cake. And it's a cake, but it's not made with like any powder. Like, think of an all dairy. So it's very creamy and good.
Down to the exam. You don't have to write anything up there except the answer, Liliana. You don't have to show the work. Go, Liliana.
What? No.
You don't have to show the work. Just write the answer.
Right.
You can change the color. Right it.
Wait, this all we gotta do?
Nah, that's not gonna be.
Yeah, only copper is not the element, because you need, protons are 14. So,
What?
Don't be that one?
yeah.
Wait, what did you say before?
14 protons makes it silicon. Alright, so Liliana said silicon because there are 14 protons. So here is her hyphen notation, since she did it in the same color. And there is her nuclear symbol notation. Does everybody see your two answers?
Yeah.
Alright, can I get a volunteer to do the last one? Yeah, the one that says 34 and 45.
I will go.
You already been? No. I want somebody who hadn't been. Eduardo, how about you?
Yeah.
Come on. I can't usually get you up here. Come on.
He's been yelling out answers.
Right. You know what he's doing.
Come on. You come do this one. Oh, I forgot to go to the test. Oh, well. We'll do it. Remind me if you want to see them. I'll show them to you the other on Monday when we come back.
Oh, go to the test.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about it.
You got 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Nothing today.
Shocking. You don't do nothing most days.
Oh, snap.
You wouldn't be in here at all if you'd done some work in chemistry.
Yeah.
Come to class.
It was first period.
Yeah, I know. It's brutal when you have my class first period. Ask last semester's group.
Why is that so bad? Because
They don't show up.
Chemistry.
You gotta wake up and immediately do like science lab.
Like I thought it was.
I had one child fail because she had
Or just, like,
30,
mixing
I think it was
chemicals
38
with
tardies. 12 absences and 38 tardies.
I stayed out. I actually had 14.
I think I'm like 12, 13.
All right. Questions about what Eduardo got? Nah? All right. We're going to keep going with this and add in ions on Monday. And depending on how we do on Monday, our quiz will either be Tuesday or Wednesday on how to do this. I'm talking about the Monday we come back, not next Monday. Not next Monday, Jose. The Monday we come back. Huh?